Welcome back, everyone. Mudford here. Just taking a quick pan around of my setup for chicken butchering. We have a few meat birds that we purchased and they're full grown now and ready to be butchered. So this is my first time butchering chickens, so I'm just gonna walk you through my plan. I've done a little bit of research and this is the setup that I came up with, and I'll show you it real quick and then we'll get a bird and we'll walk through it. Got a bucket down there, rope here. I'm going to hang the chicken by its feet, tie this around its legs, and let it hang. We're going to do that, let them bleed out. Then I'm going to have 150 degree water here in the turkey cooker. Dip them in here for about a minute until the feathers come loose. I'm going to dip them in cold water that I'm going to have in the cooler so that the skin doesn't cook, because it's going to get really hot in the hot water. Bring them over here onto this pan on the four-wheeler. Pluck them in here, so all the feathers will be in here, and then dump them into this garbage can, and then bring it over here to the table, cut it up, take the guts and all that out of it, and then I'm going to have this cooler full of ice and chill them in there. Okay, this has been quite a interesting learning experience today. This is our first time butchering chickens. Done a few of them so far. This is my last one. I had 6. So we just loop it around its legs and back through with the stick, and it holds it pretty secure there. And now I'm gonna just about ready to take its head off. And what I'll do is I just get a hold of it like this, hold it tight, pull down on the neck, get right to the base of the skull, and I'll bring my knife in right above there and take its head off if I can. Hopefully it'll take it off the first hit, unless I hit a vertebrae. Okay, this is why I hang them from the tree. This head's been off for a few seconds now. She's still flopping around, but at least it's staying right there. The blood's dripping down. I'm collecting it in the bucket just to keep it from, keep the yard as clean as I can. Well, the thing's still flopping, but at least I don't have to chase it and it's not getting in mud or dirt or anything. So, in the meantime, I have my water heating up. Looks like it's hot enough. So that's what's nice about this stick and loop. It's unhooked real easily. We got 175 degree water. We're just gonna dip it in this part. So we'll go for about a minute, trying to get all the feathers wet. Be careful because that water is very hot. You don't want to get your hand burned. Okay, this is how we test it. These wingtip feathers. You want to check how easy they come off. Just let it cool back off before we start plucking it. This is cold water from the garden hose in here. So just let it set for a minute. Okay, now it's time to pluck the feathers out, and Jeremiah is going to help us with that. Right, bud? So we're just going to keep going at this. We're going to get every feather, and even these little things here, you don't want those in your meat. So you got to go through and get every single one.
And I'm going to help too.
Okay, so here's where we're at. We got it all plucked. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crop out. That's going to be right up in here. I think it's bulging out right there. Hopefully it'll be empty. We haven't let them eat in the past 12 hours. So here's what, some of them did get some grit though. Here's the crop off of one of the other ones. I don't know if you can hear that. It just, it's full of little stones. Okay, I'm just going to work the skin loose around the neck, and I just got it to split just with my hand, just pulling on it. Split it a little bit, and you can see we've got 2 tubes right next to each other here. One is the windpipe, and that's kind of like a corrugated pipe. It feels like it's more rigid. That one's going back up into the lungs. You can kind of trace it back up into here. And we'll just try to get everything loose. And the other one is going to the crop. And the crop is up here in the neck, kind of. You can see it there, right here. And that's where that other tube is going. So we'll go ahead and separate them. You can see right here is the windpipe. Got it out of the way. And you can see, it's hard to even see it. This is definitely not as rigid of a tube. It's right here. So we're just gonna peel this skin back and just keep working at the crop. So we got everything loose. I'm just gonna reach up in as far as I can up in there with my knife. I'm just gonna cut both of these. And then we'll pull the rest of them out from the other direction. And then I'll go ahead and cut the skin around here too. We don't leave the skin from the neck. We'll take that off. And then we have the neck here. I won't cut it off just yet because we can use it for a handle as we're flipping things around. Next thing I'll probably cut off is the legs. And you just want to bend it back a little bit, hyperextend it, and go right at the knee joint there. Just start, you don't want to cut through the bone, you're just going to cut through some tendons. There's one. There's two. Okay, now I'm going to open up the chest cavity here. Do that right here. Just going to kind of pinch up like this to make sure I'm not getting into the guts. Just cut right below my fingers here, just to get an opening. You don't want to cut real deep just to get into the cavity. Once I'm in, I'm just going to take my fingers and make the opening bigger. Just like that. And now it's open right in. You can see right in. Just going to reach in and start pulling innards out. There we go. There's the heart, liver. Got most everything now. So what we're going to do is just let it hang out. Just hang out the cavity just like that. Not going to cut anything, do anything crazy. A lot of fat on this one. Get right to the where the intestine goes out, where its butt is right here. We're just going to leave that alone. We don't. That was just some fat. It's still attached right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut on one side of it and the other side. And if there's anything in here, that way we won't cut this. And if it does leak out the butt, it'll leak outside just onto the table, not inside the chicken. So that's what we're going to do now. Being very careful not to cut through it because I can see poop inside of there. Right here. So we definitely don't want to cut that. And if a little oozes out the butt, it's just going to be outside of the chicken, so it won't be a mess inside your chicken. So that's definitely the way to do this. And then for me, instead of cutting with my knife this way on this side, for some reason, it always seemed easier started. This side always seems a lot harder for me. But I'll cut down this direction. Okay, got some good cuts now. Now we're going to roll it over. And here's your tail sticking up here. We're just going to cut down through the tail. You can see there's a little bit of poop coming out, but it's just going right down onto the table. We're just going to cut through the tail. But you might have to work a little bit when you get through the bone there. It shouldn't be too bad. I say that, and this is just being terrible. Okay. Just reach up in and look and see what else. Now that you got everything loose and out of there, you can reach up and get any other organs or any chunks that you've missed. Okay, we're not going to leave the neck on. So I'm just going to reach back in. Forgot about the neck. Most people don't eat the chicken neck. We're just going to wash it out. Okay. Not a bad looking chicken. All set to go. I'm going to throw it in the cooler, pack it with ice for now. I think we're going to eat this one tonight for supper.